Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm back in the studio like I never left. Booth and I'm ready to go. Alright, so what up, live? What up, GWD Ant family, yo? We are back on live, and today, as you see by the title, we are about to be shouting out all 3,000 of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys for subscribing, bro. It means a whole lot to me, bro. I love my supporters, I love my fans. Keep dropping the videos for y'all, man. Y'all just keep subscribing to your boy if you're really messing with the content. But I'm going to start this. If you're not in the live to see me shout out your name, then you can always watch the replay. So we're going to press subscriber count. So first on the list, shout out to Lil underscore Mumo 0. Shout out to Carl Man underscore aesthetic. Shout out to Beats with Character. Shout out to Lil K Gang. Shout out to Salim Thompson. Shout out to Emily and Angel. Shout out to Artem U222. Shout out to Toka Aries. Shout out to Kenneth Wilson. Shout out to YNG City. Shout out to Cupid's World. Shout out to 2K Vortex XXYT. Shout out to Pack 1 DSJUAN. These names are crazy, but I'ma still shout y'all out. Shout out to August Family. Shout out to All About Lily. Shout out to Calandra. Shout out to Q All Year. Shout out to Jazia Love 123. Shout out to Mossy Carry On. Shout out to Naila. Shout out to Sisters Love. Shout out to Tiffany Off. Shout out to Saria Hoff. Shout out to Made EBY Glock. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to Love Sanza A380. Shout out to D Baddies. Shout out to Nizuko. Shout out to It's underscore your underscore girl AVS. Shout out to Kevin Alexander. Yeah, you can watch the live on YouTube. Shout out to Kaylee Weed. Shout out to British. Shout out to Zeman the Beast channel. Shout out to I don't know. Yeah, probably it'll be. Shout out to Boo George Lashi. Shout out to Orcha Magnus. Shout out to Asia Smiley. Shout out to Draco Gamer Live. Shout out to Jessica B. Shout out to V Line VIP NAP Queen 2022. Shout out to Stars. Shout out to Daniel Cat. Shout out to La Lavender 25. Shout out to Kerry West. Shout out to Kalija Hammersley. Shout out to Salim Thompson. Shout out to Epidiso. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Ben Smith. Shout out to McDonald's Make Mom. Shout out to Fit4JB. Shout out to Jasmine MGA. Shout out to Marquita Henderson. Shout out to Swing 100. Shout out to Bob to Agnes Robinson. Shout out to AWSPTHO. I cannot pronounce that. Y'all gotta make words, bro. Like, these names are out of control. Shout out to Alicia Adams. Shout out to Beautiful People. Shout out to Lynx Haynes. Shout out to Susie Torres. Shout out to Artem U22. Shout out to Log Gang Aim 7. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Them Boys. Shout out to Bacon Hair and Adventures. Shout out to Your Boy Is Nice. Shout out to Gale Mola. Shout out to TB Amari. Shout out to Fortnite Balls. Shout out to Alicia Geardies. Shout out to Angie Says Gatos. Shout out to Even. Shout out to Poochie. Shout out to Love From Behind. Shout out Rambo DH King. Shout out to All About Lily. Shout out to Buck D Town 1. Shout out to Kuya AXL. Shout out to Love Thin SA8380. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Touch Grass Kid. Y'all need to touch grass. Shout out to Black Lambo. Shout out to Master Wu underscore 123. Shout out to Battle Noob. Shout out to Lalita Snowden. Jake, shout out to Jake Potter. Shout out to Ken Carson. I love him. He's a good artist. Shout out to It's Meow. Shout out to SH1D0URYUS31. That name is outrageous. Shout out to Melissa. Shout out to Randy Harrell. Shout out to Trayton Boyd. Shout out to Rose Henry. Shout out to TK number one. Shout out to Limited. Shout out Barbara Delano. Shout out Kit. Will Kit Salon EFC. Shout out Limitless Dimmed You. Shout out Kaif 2. Shout out D Blast 4. Shout out Sammy D Cassiano. Shout out Caller. Shout out Ablashi family. Shout out Shanoa Jackson. Shout out Lavonda Bennett. Shout out Adina Shock. Shout out Pat Make AC. Shout out the Solar System. Shout out Lutube3. Shout out Love Chocolate. Shout out Unique Princess 66. Shout out It's Gaming Time. Shout out Xmas YX. Y'all a little bit. Shout out to Greater Works ODM. Shout out Beats with Character. I just unmuted it. Shout out Mo Concha. Shout out Jade's Bunny. Shout out SX Lover Baby. Shout out Gary Gunnerson. Shout out RC Trader of Columbia SC. Genesis, you gotta turn it down because it's like playback. It's like echoing. Shout out Lil Mumo. Shout out Pangering Java. Shout out Alo Gaming. Shout out Jamie Shelicher. Shout out Saxophone _ VR. Huh? Yeah, people that subscribe to me. Shout out Mr. Ducky. Shout out Cinna YR. Shout out W's in the chat. Shout out What the Sigma. Shout out Jay Cohim. Shout out Macy Carrion. Shout out Mikey. Shout out Deuce G. Shout out Giuliano Emetredo J.O. something. Shout out Bobby. Shout out Meme Guy. Shout out Melania Del Socorro Jaquin Abarredo. God dang, these names are long. Shout out Jamie Bryant. Shout out Bernice Jimpson. Shout out Luann Block. Shout out Monique Casalito. Shout out Leticia Villada Garcia. Shout out Fernando Lopez Jr. Shout out Joseph Backhud. Shout out William Ducks. Shout out Nick. Shout out KJ Tulit. Shout out Memphis Shorts. Shout out Tone Bone. Shout out Colton Vic Oski. Shout out Purge Nation. Shout out Mustafa Limu. Shout out Henry Nagayan. These names are long as heck, but thank you guys for subscribing to everybody that I've shouted out so far. Shout out Moses on the Move. Shout out Dezen Manga. Shout out Ace K. Shout out Galaxy Stars, 2 S's. Shout out Wachanon family. Shout out Yuki. Shout out Mrs. 0 or O, whichever one. Shout out Dead. Okay. His real name is Gerard D Shivers 1481. Shout out F7TY. Shout out Mr. Chiquito 28. Shout out Paul and Mambia. Shout out Shelly V. Shout out Matthew Hezen. Shout out Drew2 Easy 006. Shout out Abigail Smith. Shout out Nay Ela. Shout out Kiki C. Shout out RC2 2024. Shout out Sukuna Gaming. Shout out Skeletal. Shout out Kalandra. Shout out Ruben. Shout out Uni Putri. Shout out Cool CHANLL. Shout out J Money. Shout out Sade Jones. Shout out Ellie Tara. Shout out Goodbye Ridance. Shout out Villain. Shout out Horrible 4. Shout out King Bacon and Lord Latoya GW. Shout out Nicole Livriano. Shout out J Diablo 666. Shout out Frederica Williams. Shout out Caitlin Nelson. Shout out Jazzy J36. Shout out Carlos Fury. Shout out Rickana Apples. Shout out Pokey the Puppy. Shout out Patricia MPU and Punza. Shout out Giselle Garzes. Shout out Regine Yarborough. Shout out Bessie Vibes 78. Shout out Carla Sue 987654. Shout out GRT41. Shout out MIA Halo, Mia Halo. Shout out Yes and Gali, Osken Bayi. Shout out Padma Parthineni. Shout out Chloe. Shout out Waynell R. Shout out Lori. Shout out Zay the King. Shout out All You Need to Know. Shout out Skibbity Toilet Man. Shout out VR Player. Shout out Carlos Santos. Shout out Esther Monty Fee. Shout out Richard Faulkner. Shout out Reba HB. Shout out Susie Osorio. Shout out Elena Mari Burns. Shout out Matt WHUHU. Shout out Long Way. Shout out Pinky. Shout out Kelly Cioto. Shout out Made by Glock. Shout out It's_Tristan. Shout out Tamika Reed. Shout out Even Hall. Shout out O. Shout out Rom Shamey. Shout out Diana Wisley. Shout out Lil K Gang. I know that's my boy right there, man. Shout out Kiki. Shout out Robert Parks. Shout out DESJUAN. Shout out Latanya Davis. Shout out Nicole Ways. Shout out Call Me Aesthetic. Shout out Laura Roblox YouTube. Shout out TS Squad 4TL. Shout out James Fire and Bella 7. Shout out Rufini Katove. Shout out Kemochi 2420. Shout out Mui Goku. Shout out Metrolink 929 Gaming Productions. Shout out God's Kid. Shout out Cupid's World. Shout out Jaden. Shout out OCN. Shout out Glam Rock Funtime Foxy Gotcha. Shout out Stephart. Shout out the August family. Shout out Caleb Geddes. Shout out Q Lone. Shout out Elijah. Shout out at Love Jennifer Watermelon emoji. Shout out Star Toka. That's the Toka Live channel. Shout out to you. Shout out Ariel Hurd. Shout out Camellia Ellis. Shout out Terminator Ellis. Terminator_edits. Shout out Adela Sania. Shout out April A. Shout out Charlie B. Shout out Atifa Doe. Shout out Leigha. Shout out whatever this is, Alexis. Shout out Royal Charm. Shout out whatever this is. I cannot even read this right here, but if you're this person right here, shout out to you. Thanks for the subscribe. Shout out Miles Eaton. Shout out Not XYOPICORBEAU. Shout out Thanos Fan. Shout out Sophiani Tormi. Shout out Il Elena Wis NIOWSKA. Shout out Amen Bill Haddad. Shout out Jackson. Shout out Dior Plays. Shout out Apostrophe Carey. Shout out AP. Shout out Pink Snobes. Shout out Tori Rose. Tori Rose. Shout out Rosa Schiller, CPHT, SPT. Shout out NZY. Shout out Shadow TVE. Shout out Tay Tay. Shout out It's Your Girl Ava. Shout out WTO underscore fan one. Shout out Halo YT. Shout out Tamika Strong. Shout out Ariana Willow. Shout out Glock Boy. Shout out Jack YouTube YT Blocks 1. Shout out Bonnie Gamer. Shout out Edit by Mel. Shout out Mitchell. Shout out Feven HDGU. Shout out Built RBX. Shout out Irishay Harris. Kalama Leonard. Shout out Margarita Desantil. Shout out Melanie Spiders. Shout out Maria Palomino. Shout out That Girl London. Shout out JC. Shout out Wit. Shout out your underscore boy Voblox. Shout out Abibi Bell Consi 495. Shout out Edith Martins. Shout out MM2 and DTI fan for life. Shout out KYM. Shout out Hortense Jean Michael. Shout out Shot by Cardi. Shout out Toka Aries. Shout out Cold Glass Sisters Edits. Shout out Cam's Cam. Shout out Alex the Best. Shout out Hammer Temaclo, yeah. Shout out Messi. Shout out Moiji Shopping. Shout out Louise Morolong. This is a whole lot of people. I am not gonna lie to y'all. I am not even gonna lie to y'all. Shout out Miss Top Hughes 242 Compete. Shout out AN Nazar. Shout out Sean Allen. Shout out EGD underscore Adore. Shout out Esther Blossom. Shout out KK Adventures. Shout out Tiffany H. Shout out Vomeni. Ramen is cooking. Shout out Faithy. Shout out Model. Shout out Shamiri. Shout out Any Sparkles. Shout out Toka Flora. Shout out Josella, the only Zaya. Shout out your girl. Your girls are wild bitch. Shout out Tiffany Nelson. Shout out Casey Folly. Shout out Flowers Girl. Shout out ALDC Dolls. Quit. Shout out Ibani Soul Mom. Shout out Tiffany Off. Shout out FXIRY .W0CY. Shout out Cat Emoji Lee. Shout out Kimmy Yada Thunder Burke. Shout out Sarah Torres. Shout out Emily and Angel. Shout out Saria Hoff. Shout out Brianna Kamen. Shout out Day in the Life with Brenna. Shout out Jazia Love 123. Shout out Brittany Roberts. Shout out Mila. Shout out Peter Joel. Shout out They Love Kindle. Shout out Voblox underscore Diva. Shout out Levon Voblox fan. Shout out X3 Wolf. Wolfie Lion Viper. Twin Pose. Shout out Sub to Sean White YouTube. Shout out It's Harmony. Shout out Beneline Wangelove. Shout out Taki Squad. Shout out Tay and Tori. Shout out Cute Mookie Gaming. Shout out Jasemon Butler Jazzy. Shout out Sisters Love. Shout out KGO That So. Shout out Sparkle. Shout out Girls Boss Tina Slays. Shout out Kaylin Smith. Shout out Minnie. Shout out Kim Taylor. Shout out Death Wish. Shout out Rex Sejan. Shout out Burley Boy Chance. Shout out Ashley Brown. Shout out Trey Downs. Shout out No More. Shout out Eric Gabriel Rodriguez Mendez. Shout out the Iconic Beach. Shout out the Iconic Beach. Shout out Pinky. Shout out Sped Ups. Shout out Nova 4. Shout out it's underscore your underscore girl underscore Aves. Shout out Evangeline emoji underscore APH fan. Shout out Diona and Genesis. Shout out Taco Swag. Shout out Sanrio Lover TXM and Poncho. I'll be back. Oh, my bad. I had it down. Let me go back to the ones I was saying. Shout out Sanrio Lover, TUX Edo, Sam, and Pachaco. Shout out 6Y Pi TBIKPRK. Shout out NHZ Bands. Shout out Mellow ZYCY. Shout out Lee Sop. Let me put my phone on battery saver because this joint be dying. I ain't even gonna cap y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Let me put this thing on battery saver. Ah, snap, it just took me off. Now I have to go all the way back down.
Okay, you got. What did it say? I couldn't read it.
Like, my mom is interrupting me while I'm live. Like, she got to stop texting me. She got to. Now look at me, bro. I have to go back. Once I was just shouting out. What the heck, mommy? Like L mom. Everybody put L mom in the comment section. L mom. How could she do this to me? Now she just made me restart, bro. Alright, so let me go all the way down to whoever I was shouting out. God dang, it's so many people in this subscribers. I don't know where you're at. I have to see if you're even in here. I don't know what you subscribe to me on. Half of y'all don't even subscribe to your boy. Alright, so I'm going back down to whoever I was shouting out. I think I know who. All these people. Tiffany Nelson. Ellie, where is... Okay, I left off here. Happy... shout out to Liz Hobby 775X. Shout out to Happy Harley. Shout out to Jordan Withers. Shout out to Janice Jones. Shout out to Elena. Shout out Brainfied. Shout out Zoe Witch. Shout out Fanuel. Make. God dang, these names are so freaking hard. But it's okay, man, because I'm still going to shout y'all out. So whoever this is, Fanuel, Make, MCHILWA. Shout out to Lucilio Zunguzzi. Like, what the fudge nuggets, bro? Shout out J Bala 0. Shout out Ashley Martin. Shout out Swedish Wonder Kid. Shout out Life with Symphony. Shout out AJUA. Shout out Jack. Shout out Mercedes. Shout out Lonza Bryant. Shout out Washandra Pigler. Shout out Christina L. Shout out the Skyberry Zers. Shout out to Vince Box. Shout out to Heather Boyer. Shout out to I Am Sands. Shout out to Blaze Barrett. Shout out to Portia Blakey. Shout out to E Nuns. Shout out to Penguin Boy. Shout out to Baddies Twins 16. Shout out to It's Daisy. Shout out to Feliciana GH. Shout out to FLA2XO. Shout out to Majesty Gamer Roblox. Shout out to Megan Hubbard. Shout out to Arceli Galarza. Shout out to Joanne Floors. Shout out 10 Star. Shout out to Lance Chiua. Shout out to Beverly Balan Sag. Shout out to Lightning McQueen. Shout out to Chelsea Williams. Shout out to SRT Heating and Gas Ltd. Shout out to Angela Indivina Love Light. Shout out to SMHI Yosh. Shout out to Squeaky Caroline. Shout out Cristiano Ronaldo 1772. Shout out to The Baddies. Shout out to Jiwan BK. Shout out to Clara Zero. Shout out to XX1216XX. Shout out to Blake of the Gods. Shout out to Andrew Cabrera and Aiden Cabrera. Shout out to Sans Has Been Summoned. Shout out to Gojo Satoru. Shout out to Truth YouTube. Shout out to Billy Badgate. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Viviana Portilla. Shout out to Mikale YouTube channel. Shout out to Yin. Shout out to Candace Haynes. Shout out to Frosty. Shout out to L. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Starcam Foodie. Shout out to ATM. Shout out to Fee1. Shout out to Don the @_558. Shout out to Sabrina Gonzalez. Shout out to K and M. Shout out to C-Man. Shout out to Jim Lee Valaga. Shout out to Lori Valley. Shout out to Ivy B channel. Oh, fudge nuggets, I did it again. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Now I gotta go back. I did it again. Ah, snap, I did it again. I gotta go back down. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Gotta go back down. Shout out to all y'all. If y'all, whoever's in the live, if y'all ain't see y'all names, shout out to all y'all that I'm going across. I'm shouting out for all 3,000 of my subscribers. Shout out to all y'all, man. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all y'all. Y'all names are actually getting hard. I might have to stop at some point in this live and just straight up scroll and let y'all just see y'all names. Because honestly, I don't understand y'all names, man. Let me go back down. If you see your name here, shout out to you, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all subscribing to my channel. Just hitting that subscribe button means so much to me, man. Shout out to K and M. Shout out. I did those already. Alright, shout out to Miles Morales 123. Shout out to Cassie Devers. Shout out to IDB channel. Shout out to Lori Valley. Shout out to Jim Lee Valiga. Shout out to IDB channel. Shout out to 2K Vortex YT. Shout out to Annie Leap. Shout out to Chloe Rodriguez. Shout out to Laylo Estrada. Shout out to Pac1. Shout out to whoever this is. Dino_32. Shout out to Brian Lizard. Shout out to Noah Mueller. Shout out to Grand Prince. Shout out to Random Chicken Nugget. Shout out to Megan Gordon. Shout out to B Battle. Shout out to V Beers. Shout out to Q All Year. Shout out to Shadow. Shout out to XVCT TV. Dash YT. I'm so sped. Shout out to Jessica D'Andrea. Okay, shout out to Nate. Shout out to Stormy Accounter 8. Shout out to Cosmo. Shout out to HMMMU. Shout out to Karaoke S. Shout out to Ricardo. Shout out to Sarah L. Leo. Shout out to Lacey Gibbler. Shout out to Hellcat Gaming. Shout out to Parley Peace. Shout out to Tyree. If you are in this live, what is up with you guys? What is up? Shout out to you guys, everybody that subscribed. Yeah, shout out to Tyree. Shout out to Large TV Man. Shout out to Nezuko. Shout out to Shane B. Shout out to No One. Shout out to Donnie Elgato's Minecraft Adventure. Shout out to TK Videos. Shout out to Selling Workers Mendoza. Shout out to Cheryl Harrelson. Shout out to Christian Perez. Shout out to Official Raw. Shout out they FW Happy Face whatever Giovanna. Shout out to Delia Gomez. Shout out to JXCXMP underscore YouTube. Shout out to Aqua underscore plays YouTube. Shout out to N41. Shout out to Eva TikTok. Shout out to Son Ton. Shout out to Miss Queen Brittany. Shout out to C-OPS585. Shout out to Lisette Esquivel. Shout out to Maria Nina. Shout out to Sub 2 Dev. To Sir Dove Silver. Shout out to Facundo YS Sus Videos. Why is your video sus? Shout out to Mohan D. Leon. Shout out to Catherine. Shout out to Mel19. Oh, shout out to Mel P1970. Shout out to PGF Driller YouTube. Shout out to Trail Hard Skiller. Shout out to Cormari. Shout out to Chrissy Lean. Shout out to Nicole Weatherspoon. Shout out to Drill Charis Marzino. Shout out to Zay. Shout out to Gaming with Amari. Shout out to OD Crash. Shout out to Draco 7K. Shout out Mofe. Shout out YNG City. Shout out Hasn't Jenny. Shout out Noel Lang. Shout out whatever this is. Shout out Jill Garces. Shout out Troll Official. Shout out Gabriel. Shout out Siraj Hannity. Shout out Sweet Melody of Shancho. Shout out Janae's World. Shout out 5KJ. Shout out Ashley Jackson. Shout out O'Brien. Shout out JXPRV87MYG. Shout out Don Hunter. Shout out James Box and shout out MonDX Marketing. If your name was shouted out, shout out to you. Thanks for being subscribed to your boy's YouTube channel, man. That is all my people, man. Thank you guys for subscribing to 3,000 subscribers. Shout out if you wasn't here for the live to get your name shouted out. This video saved on the YouTube channel, so shout out to everyone that has been subscribed. I appreciate 3,000 subscribers. We are on a roll to 5,000 subscribers before 2025 is over. If we can get to 5,000 subscribers before 2025 is over, I will really appreciate it. But I love you guys and thank you guys once again for 3,000 subscribers. Go ahead and check out my new YouTube videos out now. I will be uploading a lot. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.